Hello everyone, and welcome to the first episode of What Does Fara Think? And this is about Planetside 2, if you're new to the channel, and today I'm going to talk about the Phantasm. And mainly this guide is intended for shorter 2-3 minute videos where I want to talk about a variety of content in Planetside, and primarily today I want to talk about some elements that were in Planetside 1 which are not necessarily in Planetside 2, and how they might be introduced, how it could come about, and realistically how it would then influence gameplay. So with that being said, let's go straight into Planetside 2. What is this? This is the Valkyrie. It is currently the 6-person transport, 1 pilot, and then you can have 5 passengers. It's fairly standard. It's been in the game now for quite some time. It has a variety of functions that you can add on to it. Weaponry, kind of scout radar, squad spawning, these type of features. If we bring up here, we can see that in the utility you can have a repair, a radar, flares. You've got different types of controls or flights or armors, and flight things. You can currently upgrade it, but that's all it does at the moment, with different variety of kind of guns and kind of playstyles. What I would like to see, possibly, is if we were somehow to use the Phantasm. Now, the Phantasm is a Planetside 1 vehicle. It was a 5-person transport with poor maneuverability, no firepower whatsoever, no guns. However, it could cloak, and it could stay permanently cloaked, similar to like the Flash, ATV that we have right now. The Infiltrator can cloak. And the caveat with the Phantasm was that when you were perfectly stationary, the cloak on the Phantasm, like an Infiltrator, was nearly perfect. You could see them if you were paying really close attention, if you were fairly close, but at medium distance to further away, it's impossible to see unless you had some sort of night vision kind of scope on. But then as you moved to the Phantasm, and the further and faster, notifications, the further and faster that you went, the more visible that the Phantasm would become, to the point where if you were going really fast or using afterburners or whatever, you'd be pretty noticeable. You're like maybe 50%, 60% effectiveness of the cloak, so you could see the outlines, the contours, all that type of stuff. Now, how difficult or easy could it be to introduce the Phantasm mechanic to Planetside 2, and why would you want to do that, right? So, with that in mind, my thinking is, well, use the vehicle that we already have, which is this sort of light transport Valkyrie. Put the cloaking module, and this isn't new. Like the Planetside upgrade project gave this suggestion in 2014, and then it was revived again in 2017. And I'm just reiterating kind of what's already been said here. But take away the gun, allow it to have a module that can cloak, and then give it the same balancing characteristics as was in Planetside 1, so it was near sort of fully stealth when not moving, but more detectable the faster it goes. As I say, take away the gun, maybe take away some of the flight characteristics, maybe while cloaked take away the ability to squad spawn, because that might be a bit too powerful to have a perfectly stationary, invisible vehicle that you could then squad spawn in and then drop people out. Maybe take away its ability to hot drop as well out of the Valkyrie, so you have to land the thing. These are just balancing ideas. But what would be the benefit of a cloaking vehicle like a Valkyrie with this sort of Phantasm module? And to that I would say, it's kind of cool. If we look at the map here, you could fly from point to point, and if you need to get there stealthily or slowly or carefully or get behind, or if you want to spy on the enemy, see what this combat zone's going on. For example, we're Terran Republic. What happens if I wanted to see what was going on between the VS and the NC? I might have to fly like an ESF and go really quickly and then see what was going on. Maybe I just kind of want to view the battlefield or get some intel, or maybe I want to go one lane behind the combat zone, so when this ends I can then jump in without necessarily having to take what we currently do, which is a very fast ESF with a bale of an infiltrator puts down a beacon. This could be another form of gameplay. In terms of developer time and implementation, I don't perceive it as being that hard. Obviously I'm not a programmer, I'm just sort of game designing here, but the technology already exists. It's not anything groundbreaking, and it just seems to me that it would add some really cool alternate game styles and gameplay into Planetside. How broken it might be? Well, can you imagine a stealthed Valkyrie with 5 passengers in it, all with AV mines that just sort of throw them out or drop, and then just, you know, it'd be like that stationary tank on the hillside just totally gets surprised from behind. So I mean, there are some balancing caveats to take into consideration, but I personally see this as being quite a positive idea to at least be tested or trialed or something along those lines. Anyway, I don't want to go on too long for a long video. The whole point is we're already at 5 minutes here. That's my proposal and the idea and what exists. You got any questions or comments on how you feel about this, please put it in the sections below, and I'll read and get back to you. Thank you very much, and we'll catch you later. Bye, guys.